Good morning, CrossFit Manitowoc. This is Coach Matt. Can you feel it? You feel it in the air? A little bit of that momentum shifting. People are itching to get outside. They are longing for connection and community, and I can just feel it in the air that there's a shift going on right now, and hopefully within the next few weeks we're going to be feeling a lot more positive about the future. And so I'm not saying it's great right now, I'm just saying you can kind of see that inflection point in numbers and in the sentiment and just the way things are going right now. We will be back together soon, right? There's a light at the end of the tunnel. Today we're doing one of my favorite benchmarks. Her name is Kelly. Running, squatting, jumping, pressing, just about everything you can imagine, all in one workout. Fantastic. So it's 5 rounds for time, 400 meter run, or somewhere in the like 2.5, 3 minute cardio range. If you have other items you can't run, or you just want to do it on a rower, a ski erg, or jump ropes, just think about that steady pace cardio, 2.5 to 3 minutes. Then you're going to come back 30 box jumps. On the box jumps, they're supposed to be relatively high, 24 inches, 20 inches. It's like one tick over the normal standard. So they are intentionally set at that height to prevent you from being able to go unbroken on all of those reps. I have a personal preference for jumping opposed to stepping. I know that sometimes it's easier to step and you can keep going longer if you step, and there's a reason for that jumping requires a different set of physiological expressions in order to make it happen, and that's why we say like, get busy jumping or get busy dying, right? So if you have the choice between, say, a jump of 8 inches and a step up of 12 inches, I'd say jump the 8 inches, okay? And also another option, I always give this one out, is like, if you got to do 30 reps, maybe let's commit to me 10 of those every round are going to be jumping, even though I know they're harder, they're going to be a little bit scarier, and it's okay, right? Just be scary for 10 reps, and then you can step up the rest of them. 30 wall balls. So wall balls are, you need a flat wall, and you need something to throw at it. If you have a slam ball, but not a wall ball, that's totally fine. Just get a little bit closer. They don't bounce off the wall as far, right? So you're gonna have to stay a little closer to that wall. If you have a plate, you could just do a plate thruster, same motion, down and up, okay? If you have a dumbbell, do that same motion, right? Dumbbell thruster, down and up. Just use 2 hands instead of one. You don't have to launch it in the air or throw it and catch it or anything like that. Let's just get in that pattern of full depth squat and then one motion press to overhead. And we're gonna repeat that for 5 rounds. This is a longer workout, so think in the short end of this is like 25 minutes. And if it's in the 40-minute range, that's totally fine, okay? So just try to keep chugging for that whole time. For the warm-up, I have a couple specific exercises that I wanna do on this. I'll demonstrate. Go for 5 minutes, warm-up pace cardio, and then I want you to come in and find a wall that you can lean against. And we're gonna do a running position drill called wall high knees, right? So I'm gonna get where my fingertips are at the wall, and then I'm gonna flatten my hands. So I'm slightly leaning towards the wall, but I'm leaning from my ankles, not from my hips, right? So I wanna see my shoulders and my knees are in a line. The bend comes at my ankles, and from this position, 20 seconds, you're just gonna run at high knees, okay? So high knees, fast feet for 20 seconds. What's the point of that? Is to get in the habit of driving off the toes, right? Or driving off the ball of your foot, keeping the heel off the ground, and keeping that nice forward body lean when you run, okay? And as you get fatigued during the workout, the tendency is usually to lean back in your run and reach your foot out forward, right? And that is a bad physiological position to be in, because a moving body, if I'm moving forward, and every time I reach out in front and drop that heel first, the first thing that happens is my whole body has to slow down. So I have a braking effect from that heel. The shock travels up my heel, up my knee, up my hip, into my back. As opposed to leaning forward, right? the first thing that touches is the ball of my foot. Now I've got the natural shock absorbers that's built into the arch of my foot, built into my ankle, built into my Achilles, built into my calf, and then less so in my knee, less so in my hip, less so in my back, right? So the contact point of my running should be directly underneath my center of gravity, and I should be leaning forward over the ball of that foot as it strikes the ground, okay? And that's just a real basic running mechanics drill that we can do just to get you in the habit of this is what it feels like, and it should always feel like this, even if you're going at a relatively moderate pace jog, which is what it's going to be by round 3 or 4. All right, the next one is 10 heel toe rocks. So just back and forth heel toe rocks. Seated hip swivels. You can do the basic version of this will be with your hands on the ground, but I want your feet to stay put, and we're just rolling those hips through full internal and external range of motion. If you want to make this more difficult, you can lean your hands forward, but no matter what you do, try to keep your feet in the same place the whole time. So make sure we're not just doing that. I don't want to see the feet moving on that, because that you lose the stretch, that internal external rotation stretch. And then the last one is just a wall ball with a pause. So let's say I'm doing my wall balls today with a dumbbell. I just want to do 5 reps. Pause at the very bottom, just stretch out a little bit down there. Let this stretch out your ankle, your calf, your Achilles, as well as your hips, as well as being in that mode of upright posture at the bottom, okay? So when I'm down at the bottom of that squat, I would love it if you could still have your head be able to look up while you're all the way down there, right? So when we do the wall balls in the workout, it doesn't turn into this where I'm looking at the ground and then throwing the ball up every time, okay? That takes a larger toll on your low back. So you're just thinking about posture when we do that. For cool down today, we're gonna do 3 things for cool down. We're gonna do some quads, and then some more quads, and then some more quads. Because that's probably what's gonna be sore on you guys. All right, have a fantastic workout. Post those benchmark PRs, and I'll see you guys on Monday.